It was one of India's biggest and most notorious sex scandals from 2 generations ago. 32 years ago in 1992 in Ajmer, Rajasthan, in which over 100 schoolgirls were lured, photographed, raped and blackmailed as part of the infamous Ajmer gang rape, sex and blackmail scandal. And now, 32 years later, all 6 accused in the Ajmer sex scandal have been sentenced to life imprisonment. Remember, 32 years after the crime. This case, which dates back to 1992, involved the gang rape, photography, blackmail of over 100 girl students from Ajmer's prestigious Mayo College school. The perpetrators blackmailed their victims using photographs of them being molested after being lured to a farmhouse, an act that sent shockwaves across the nation 3 decades ago. Among the primary accused was Farooq Chishti, who held the position of president of the Ajmer Youth Congress at that time. Nafees Chishti was the vice president of the Ajmer Indian National Congress, while Anwar Chishti served as the joint secretary of the Ajmer Indian National Congress. The involvement of such politically connected individuals added another layer of complexity to the case. Think about that for a moment. 32 years later, a life imprisonment sentence after most of the convicts have either already served their sentences, some of them have been acquitted, and some of them are out. But these 6 have received now a life sentence. Dev Ankur Vadavan is live with me from Jaipur. Dev, you know, an entire current generation would not even remember this case. I myself, was 12 years old when this case happened. I heard about it many, many years later when we actually started journalism. But the Ajmer case was one of the most infamous cases. Tell us about what happens now. 32 years later, a life sentence to these 6 who are already in jail, I'm guessing.
Well, one of the most infamous, most gruesome details that emerged later on, how unsuspecting innocent girls, Shiv, from one very well-known girls' school in Ajmer, were lured. Their nude photos were clicked. They were gang raped, and all the accused allegedly at that time. And, there is a lot of stuff that was revolving around how there was a lot of political patronage, how these accused. And I would like to mention the names of some of the accused, Shiv. One was Saeed Zamir Hussain, who now is 60 years old. Iqbal Bhati, he is now 52. Sohail Ghani, he is now 53. Salim Chishti, who is now 55. Nafees Chishti, who is now 54. And Naseem, who is now 55. Now, well, imagine, Shiv, all of these people were under 30 years old when this case first emerged in 1992. And, how the girls were lured, and several of the victims, Shiv, committed suicide. They died by suicide during the course of the trial that happened. And will you call it a travesty of justice, whether it's a fit case of justice delayed being justice denied? When so much has happened, when so much of water has flown under the bridge, whether actually this kind of a conviction coming forth will serve any purpose or not, the fact remains that there were a total of 18 accused, Shiv.
Yes.
These 6 have been held guilty today. They have been sentenced to life imprisonment, Shiv. And, there are several victims, several of whom were, really did not want their names to come forth. And there was a lot of embarrassment at that point in time. And now it emerges that 32 years later, the court has held, the POCSO court has held 6 of the accused guilty in the case and sentenced them to life imprisonment.
The state of the criminal justice system in this country, 32 years later, one of the most horrifying cases. Look at it any which way that you want to. An entire generation scarred by this story, except this new generation scarcely even remembers it. Dev, thanks very much for getting us that update.